Hey everybody, welcome back to Going for Two with Jack Taylor, Season 5. My name is Jack Taylor.
My name's Hunter too.
And we are so excited to be back in studio.
Yeah. Feels like we're in a real studio today.
Yeah. This is, I think, studio version 4?
Yeah, we're not really sure how to count remote. We did remote from a few different locations, so not too sure how to count that, but physical locations, we did. Our apartment, my house, your trailer, and now
Courtney's house.
Yeah.
So, pretty excited. About to start football season, and like you said, Season 5, but we really don't know how to count seasons because every baseball season and football season are their own season. So
yeah. I think this football off season, there's talks within the production team of making this its own season. So, I mean, maybe there could be some big Season 5 fans out here, but Season 5 may be a short one, so we can just go ahead and get to 6.
Yeah, we like even numbers here at Going for Two with Jack Taylor. Get it? Because Going for Two is an even number.
I still don't know what a prime number is.
Business major, okay.
Yeah.
Finance bro.
Yeah, but pretty slow summer.
Yeah.
I remember we did say, yeah, we're going to do some summer episodes. Last I checked, it's still the summer, so...
Yeah, and Hunter got married and forgot all about Going for Two.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I mean, that was the only thing that happened this summer in June that's worth noting in life. So I got married.
Yeah. Like we said last year, I mean, whoever lost the series between us and Ole Miss, their season was over. And as far as
didn't say when their season was over.
As far as I'm concerned, both teams ended their season.
Yeah.
Yeah, both ended with losses. We lost to Tennessee, and they lost Tim Elko.
Yeah, those are the same thing.
Yeah.
Podcasting. It's been a while. But yeah, I guess let's get into this.
All right.
This is usually the part where you tell me what are we going to talk about, but I want to start a new trend of not telling them what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
because they could just listen. And like when I tell them what we're going to talk about, I kind of just say what we're saying.
Yeah,
and then we get to it. And
we don't. And this for Season 5, even if it's a short-lived season, but we don't really have an intro yet. Like what I'm going to say, whether it's motivation or
this is like a Season 5 exclusive that Jack isn't going to have some what do you call it, filler in.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's what it is. It's filler.
But the second Season 6 comes around.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we're so back.
Yeah. We're going to have so many ideas that we're probably not going to follow through with.
We're going to follow through with like 5% of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, this episode, I don't feel like we kind of just realized, hey, we could record a podcast. So, all of our thoughts may not be the most thought out, but we've tried thinking out our ideas before, and it has worked poorly.
Yeah.
So most of this is just going to be going from the heart.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've been keeping up with it, but it hasn't been, like, religious.
Yeah.
As it was before.
Yeah. So, as we know, baseball season didn't end very, very well. And that's what we're going to start out with here, is just talking about baseball and what little we want to talk about. So, first thing is the draft and how really good it was to us.
Yeah.
So, we had some obvious people get drafted and they're leaving the program. So Logan Tanner, Landon Sims, those are the first two guys. I think Landon was considered a first round pick.
Yeah, first round comp, group A.
Yeah. So he's gone. He's going to Arizona. Logan Tanner going to Cincinnati in the second round. And then Jackson Fristow, Preston Johnson, Cameron James, Brad Cumbus, and one of our signees.
He will also win the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But pretty much no one thought that we were getting him. And there was honestly nothing that we could do to get him.
Yeah. But everybody else in our signing class is coming to campus, and we're excited to have them. Also, Casey Hunt, who did get drafted, is coming back. And Luke Hancock was kind of a surprise that he didn't get drafted anywhere in the 20 rounds. So he's coming back to campus. Really, really excited to have some veterans and some young guys coming back. And, man.
Most importantly,
BHP, both-handed pitcher.
Lou Sagente.
We'll see if that name is pronounced correctly.
It is.
Is it? Okay. All right.
I love it so much.
Yeah. So
where is he from? Tell me.
Curacao.
Wow,
But born in the Netherlands, then the Curacao, then Miami, then
I think it ended up being broadly Florida.
Okay. All right. Now
I didn't body you that hard.
Now Starkville.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's traveled the world, editing God's country. But honestly, great job by this staff. Apparently, it wasn't a thing for previous years to bring in all the signees before the draft. I don't know if that's something that's changed since the draft moved back. I assume it is, but all of our signing class, except for the one signee that left, was on campus before. So everyone's together. It kind of builds that like team aspect. You don't have like your family, like people talking on both sides.
Yeah.
And it's just a team. And apparently they're here.
Yeah.
Get the job done.
Yeah. And in addition to all the guys that we've mentioned, there are also a few transfers that we've gotten in. And I don't know their names. We don't really have these prepared. But we got a guy from Memphis, from Ball State, and from Samford. I think
we get the guy from Texas.
Yeah, you got the guy from Texas. Yeah, so
there's a lot.
Most of these are pitchers, which is the main downfall of our season last year. And so, we're excited to have those guys. And we did miss out on some transfers. One went to Ole Miss. One went to...
Don't worry, the message boards quickly after he signed with Ole Miss says that he wasn't very good.
Yeah, that's the guy from Tulane, Ethan Groff.
I think he batted like 340. I don't know about you, but I'd take that.
Mm-hmm. A guy from Air Force went to LSU when he was rumored
Air Force. I mean, LSU built a super team.
Yeah.
If they don't win,
Weird thing about it though is that we didn't have much of our signing class leave in the draft, but LSU did and had a lot of transfers leave their program, and had a lot of guys graduate and leave the program too. So we're all kind of restocking in our own way, and I think we're going to have more.
We made
more
the best
returning
out of the draft.
Yeah,
we had one guy taken.
Yeah,
and that.
So a lot of teams hit the portal hard. We didn't necessarily, but the draft really helped us out a lot. So we're excited.
Which apparently our guys just weren't like big name guys, which you can take that however you want it. I know it's baseball, and like the stats are pretty much what they are. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are like, yeah, this guy. We got like a pitcher from somewhere, and he's like, yeah, I'd rather have him than Christian Little from Vanderbilt. I'm like, I'm not too sure about that. I was like,
I'm not going to be willing to say that.
I think it was Robbie that said he'd rather have the Memphis pitcher than Christian Little.
I'd rather have a guy I've never heard of than a guy who I've heard of. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, hopefully, I'm not sure how it could get any worse, but hopefully baseball is
the dogs are back.
Way more fun next year.
Bulldog country. Let's ride.
Yeah. At some point next year, we should have Parker Stinnett back from injury. We should have Brooks Auger back from injury. And this pitching staff could
What's up with Brandon Smith?
Hey, Brandon, if you're listening to this,
I'm not sure what he's
where are
doing.
you, bud? Where are you? But we're really excited to see the pitching staff kind of get revamped and hopefully make another trip to Omaha and get on the road back to winning another title pretty soon. So next thing is what you're all here for probably, and that is football season. And man, I just got to tell you, this ceiling for this team is double-digit wins.
Yeah.
And
by double-digit wins, we mean 10-2.
10, yeah. We're not going to go undefeated.
We're not going to win 11.
No, not even touch it.
Well, we're not going to win 10, but that's the ceiling.
Yeah.
If we weren't Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm. Like a Mike Leach team is going to have weeks where we look completely anemic.
And I'm very scared that one of those is going to be against Arizona.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that here in a second. We have a lot of talent returning. We didn't lose much to the draft last year. Martin Emerson being the main takeaway there. But man, we have so much.
Charles Cross.
Charles Cross
is by far the biggest.
Yeah, forgot all about that. But Mekhi Polk entered his name in the draft, but ended up being an undrafted free agent. And man, it's just we have so much returning compared to everybody in the country. I mean, we have a lot, just everything coming back.
There was a nice chart by collegefootballdata.com, and it kind of showed like the returning production versus the total EPA. And EPA is a nice stat that shows like how efficient people were. And the only people in our stratosphere are Wake Forest, Virginia, Fresno State, Ohio State is absolutely insane, and Utah. And one common denominator about those teams is people are high on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not really sure how this brings into effect the transfer portal, but there is one team that is a major outlier.
Yeah.
On the bottom left, which means bad, and
that would be Ole Miss.
Yeah. So we'll see if football is a spreadsheet game.
Yeah. Yeah, and just some notable names that aren't in Oxford anymore this year: Matt Corral, Snoop Connor, Jerrion Ely, Sam Williams on the defensive line.
What a random good season by him.
Yeah,
I still don't get it.
It's crazy stuff. Let's see who else.
Wasn't there
receivers?
Center? Wasn't there a center?
I think so.
Yeah.
Some receivers who
Braylon Sanders is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's Dontario Drummond?
Drummond's gone.
Yeah.
Just a lot of guys are gone.
Yeah, not saying that's not saying they're going to be bad. That's just they're returning talent.
Yeah.
That did everything for them last year. Not much of that is returning. So they've got a lot of rebuilding to do.
It is,
and they hit the portal very hard. So.
It's a very interesting way. It's weird seeing them being the first team to really kind of embrace that as how you're going to build the team. Because, last year he did it a little bit too. But this year with it being full throttle, before the transfer portal went absolutely crazy, they were cutting guys from scholarship, getting open spots ready. And, they went out and got some dudes.
Yeah.
Got the fifth best wide receiver from Mississippi State last year to come in and be their wide receiver 1. So,
yeah. Got Jackson Dart from USC, who I don't think is winning the quarterback battle to Luke Altmaier.
That's a very weird situation right now.
Yeah.
They got 2 good running backs, one psychopath and one from SMU.
The guy from TCU a psychopath?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's happened with him?
So his whole recruitment was absolutely insane. He was committed to them, then did some stuff where he's I think it was I'm just not gonna play, and then came back 2 weeks and was at TCU. It was really good, but just kind of weird.
All right. There you
go. A guy that message boards would be he's just in it for the money. He doesn't love it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He doesn't love getting CTE.
I for one do. So,
football guy.
I don't ever wear hard hats. I don't ever wear helmets. I'm just here for the CTE, right? I say this as I'm recording a podcast with a hard hat on.
Yeah, this is our first podcast with a hard hat.
Mm-hmm. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is our guy Will Rogers, who is in his 3rd year as our starting quarterback.
But has 3 years of eligibility.
Yeah, including this upcoming year. He has 3 years of eligibility because COVID didn't count. And so he could play this year, play next year, and then play the year after that. So,
and he could also redshirt in there if he got injured.
So quarterback recruiting is going to be weird for us coming up.
Except we're absolutely
killing it
in QB recruiting. I want to settle one thing before we get into this. I know last year we had stupid QB controversy. This year people are trying to make Sawyer Robertson the starter. No.
Yeah.
And Will threw for 4,700 yards.
Yeah. And it's not a thing like Will Rogers is just far and away better, but it's a system where nothing that Sawyer Robertson can do is going to be any better than what Will Rogers can.
I don't care if Sawyer can throw more deep balls. I've seen what Will can do with his placement of the ball, his quick decision making at times.
Yeah,
and honestly, at times last year he was an awesome leader for this team, which I'm sure he was the entire season, and the year just didn't go how. You just get beat sometimes.
Yeah,
but there was just monster games in there. Arkansas is one of them.
Yeah, that was quietly, and then Auburn is the one that's going to jump off the page with 6 touchdowns and 400 something passing yards. It's crazy stuff. That
he's a guy.
I'm sure if Sawyer is put in the same situations, he could probably do the same thing. But you're not going to take out 1A for 1B.
Yeah,
and I'm not. That's just assuming that Sawyer is just as good. We don't know that. I would assume that if Sawyer was miles and miles better, then he would be the starter.
Yeah,
but he's not, obviously.
Yeah, just want to get over that one.
Yeah.
Start the season. we'll see later.
Yeah. So what's the National Running Back Award? The dope?
I don't know.
Something. Well, we got 2 guys on it.
As always.
Jaquavius Marks and
Dylan Johnson.
Yeah.
Hugged my wife once.
Yeah.
Sarah's the reason that he came to this Starkville.
Well, last year we said that there was going to be a lot of improvement with our running backs because they're not 17 anymore and they've grown a little bit. Now they're not 18 anymore and they've grown a little bit.
They're veterans, as some would say.
Yeah.
And
so
they both
they're
still
back.
have 3 years of eligibility.
They're coming back as really, really prominent pass catchers in our offense. They have a really big part in our air raid, but also I think this is going to be a big part of Mike Leach's adjustment to the SEC and him kind of adjusting the air raid to fit what conference he's in now. So I think they're going to run the ball a lot more this year.
And I think a lot of that comes from the running backs are going to be better.
Yeah.
I think will I know Dylan looks like insanely in shape right now. He cut down a little bit of weight. And Marks, we just know what he looks like in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's just ripped.
Yeah.
And I think that there will be more trust in Will because the whole thing is Will makes the decisions for everything.
Yeah, he has ability to read.
He can do whatever at all times, whenever he wants. So that's on Will. I mean, he should have chemistry with all these guys. I'd like to see him rely a little bit more on them at times, but I mean, whatever works, I'm willing to take it.
Yeah. Next big thing is the wide receiver room, which as long as we're in the air raid, as long as Mike Leach is here, our wide receiver room is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Mekhi Polk is the really big name that's left last year. 105 receptions, second in all of college football.
To a guy with 150, which is nuts.
Which is another air raid guy, which is just, I mean, it's
which their air raid is just air raid on drugs. It's like only pass. Like, you think Mike Leach is only pass. Bailey Zappi was just like, it's like playing NCAA. It's just 4 verts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Mekhi Polk leaving, there's a lot of production that we're going to have to replace somewhere. But if you think about Mekhi Polk, there wasn't just tons and tons of yards after the catch. Mm-hmm. There wasn't many just like insane catches.
Yeah, there was like 5 that you could count.
Yeah.
Like,
and they were like in the back of the end zone, I think just like 50-50 balls maybe.
And against zone, anyone's going to be open if they run that route.
Yeah.
I mean, not like anyone's going to be open, but like
we have guys.
You get to that spot, the spot is open against zone coverage. Mm-hmm. And he may have been really, really good at reading the zone and getting to the right spot, but it's not like he was like Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Like, just absolutely burning guys.
Yeah. We're here to say, like, Mekhi Polk was really good. And, you know, whether we think the decision for him to try to go to the NFL was good or bad, whatever. Like, he was good, but he's replaceable.
Yeah.
And so we don't need somebody to come in and get 105 receptions and take his place. We need, you know, a couple of guys to step in and
have 15 more receptions.
Yeah. Each, yeah. 2 guys can combine for 105 receptions, and we may not miss Mekhi. You know,
and we have the room to do it. So at the Z, which is the outside receiver, we have Caleb Ducking, Antonio Harmon, Jordan Mosley, and Xavier Thomas. At the Y, we have Jameer Calvin, which he's only yards after catch, if I remember last year correctly. Mm-hmm. And Jaden Wally, they're kind of the 1-2. And Janoris Hobson, I think he played some. No, he may be a new guy. Yeah. Then X, we have Rara Thomas, which he was great last year.
Really good down the stretch.
And then Tulu Griffin. And then at the H, we have Old Reliable.
Back for his 9th season with Mississippi State.
Yeah. I think that there was a thing that he was at, like the bowl game practice that recruits do.
Yeah.
He was at that with Dak in 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
That is wild.
Like I think that's right. It may not be, but I remember thinking about this before, and I think I'm right, which is just hilarious.
While you look that up, we're going to move on to offensive line, where we talked about everybody being back but Charles Cross. So got what's your guy's name?
Charles. Oh wait, who do we got back? Sorry. Let me pull this up. I was doing some research. We're doing O-line.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's our guy's name? Or
Oh, my favorite guy ever, Cole Smith.
Cole Smith.
He's just kind of like the utility man backup.
Okay.
So we have Dollar Bill, which that remind me, that is Dollar Bill, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then at left guard we have Nick Jones. And then we have LaQuinston Sharp at center. You know, he's going to be good. Cameron Jones at right guard and Albert Reese at right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be better at 4 of the 5.
Yeah.
There's more experience.
Yeah.
We can't be worse at right tackle.
Yeah.
We're going to be way worse at left tackle.
Yeah. Left tackle is going to be tough.
But if he's okay, just like okay.
If he's okay and Will's decision making has gotten a little bit quicker and maybe mobility.
And you can do stuff if only one guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, there's ways to get around it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at times last year, it was like 3 guys suck at a time.
Yeah.
And the year before it was 5 guys suck at a time.
Yeah. I mean, just like last year, you think about our baseball team, the pitching staff was what plagued us every game. Like, it was just like, if we can go into a weekend with a fully healthy pitching staff, you know, I like our chances to make it back to Omaha. But this in football, it's the offensive line. I mean, year in and year out, that's that's been our struggle with the air raid. So the offensive line being better is the key to all of this happening. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how big of a dent.
It wasn't Dak. It was December 2016. I was a year off.
Man, you just had to kick it with Nick Fitz for a little bit. But yeah, just seeing how big of a hole Charles Cross leaves. I mean, obviously it's going to be apparent, but just seeing how well we can adjust at left tackle.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if 4 of the 5 are better, that's better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just depends how bad that one is.
Yeah.
And the one shouldn't be that bad because that one was already in the 4 that like was bad last year.
Yeah.
So it should be better.
And I think most of the guys we're bringing in are JUCO guys for offensive line. I think we did have one really good LSU flipped commitment that's going to be on campus this year. But a JUCO guy, I think, is going to be our left tackle, right?
Right now it's Dollar Bill.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is scary. There is Percy Lewis.
Okay.
I think Percy Lewis, I forgot where he was from. Is he just a freshman? No, he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who he is. Recruiting is hard when it's... Oh, yeah, he's a Gulf Coast Community College guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he's 4-star, so...
There we go.
I'll take that.
All right.
Defense
works out.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter, tell us about the defense.
Defensive line. I know Robbie said it earlier this week. He thinks that midway through the year, people are going to be like, that Mississippi State front 7 is top 2 in the SEC.
Wow.
So he thinks it's going to be like one of those defenses for the front 7. And honestly, looking at it, you could make a really good argument for that.
Yeah.
The ends, we could have DeMonte Russell and Jordan Davis on one side, and then Jaden Crumpety and Randy Charlton with a few other guys behind them. And then in the middle, we have Cam Young, Nathan Pickering, Javon Banks. And there's just a lot of guys here. None of them are stars. I remember last year there was a ton of hype for Jordan Davis. And not the Georgia one that runs like a 4.4 and 360 pounds and can do backflips.
Man, that guy?
This one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, just your typical edge rusher. There's a lot of hype, and then I think he tore his ACL last year, but now he's back.
Right before the season started.
Yeah. He's back. He's healthy. I mean, that front 7 was good last year.
Yeah.
So on to the linebackers. We're bringing almost everyone back. Strong side linebacker, we have Tyrus Wheat and Sherman Timms. And then redshirt freshman John Lewis, which I think that's the guy that we were in the battle with Ole Miss on.
Mm-hmm.
I think George County.
Yeah, that's right.
Then middle linebacker, we have Nathaniel Watson, Nick Mitchell, and Javay Gilmore. And then will linebacker, we have Jet Johnson, J.P. Purvis, and Avery Sledge.
Yeah. And what was the guy that you said was probably too good to keep off the field?
Yeah, Robbie said that, and I think that is Trevian Williams. He's a defensive end.
Okay.
And apparently he is just nuts right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
he may not start, but we've seen kind of with this coaching staff, people are going to be rotated in a lot.
Yeah, and it's not surprising if a guy just starts contributing like crazy. I mean, they get a scholarship in the middle of the year. I mean, Christian Ford was one of those guys last year.
At wide receiver especially, we get these random guys. Like, before week 1, did you know who Ra Thomas was?
No.
And I think he was on scholarship.
Yeah.
Which is... I
mean, they just kind of come out of the
yeah,
woodwork,
I mean, it's just whoever's clicking at the time. And, I mean, they'll put up big seasons for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess going to corners probably are, honestly, you could say our biggest loss.
Yeah. I mean, even more than Charles Cross.
Yeah, Martin Emerson shut down a side of the field.
Yeah. And he's known for one play against Auburn where he didn't do that. But, that's really the only time you ever heard his name. And that's what you want out of a cornerback.
Yeah. You heard of him in his freshman year, like a loaf of bread. And then from that point forward, no one really threw at him.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because you'd be like, yeah, he's over there, but you would never...
Forbes might be the flashier guy because he had pick sixes all through that.
And Forbes is just insane.
Like, and he is great, but...
I love Forbes. I'm going to stand Forbes so much.
Because he got a lot of action because Emerson was just getting ignored on that other side of the field.
It's so weird how good Martin Emerson was. He's with Cleveland, so... Mm-hmm. Hopefully he does good, doesn't take too much from his quarterback. So on the opposite side of Emmanuel Forbes is DeCamerion Richardson. We saw a lot of him last year, and Asias Ferge is the next guy. And then I'm going to go to safeties real quick because we have a few new guys. Boundary safety, we have Jalen Green. Field safety, Colin Duncan. And then Bulldog safety, we have Jackie Matthews. He's a transfer from West Virginia, and everyone at camp has been saying that he is just extremely fast, gets to the ball. Haven't really heard, other than, wow, this guy's fast, much other than that.
Yeah.
But, speed kills.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Maybe that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know people, love the term Bulldog safety, but that is very corny.
Yeah.
Stop being corny.
All right, and then moving on from Brandon Ruiz in the kicking department, who are our kicker and punter?
Punter is Archer Trafford, and then our kicker is...
All right, you want me to say this one?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, we got Massimo Biscardi.
Now that thing is Italian.
That thing is Italian, baby.
He's from Coastal Carolina. Hopefully he's good at kicking on green grass.
Mm-hmm, not bluegrass.
Just dropped my phone.
Man, not even from Kentucky, and he's kicking on bluegrass.
Yeah.
All right.
Long snapper, Mississippi State legend, Hayes Hammond.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Punt returner, take a guess, all reliable.
I mean, kick returner, Mr. Unreliable, Tulu Griffin.
Unreliable targets in this offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please target him.
All right.
Teams be like, I will target him. That's Wally's job.
All right, so that's going to be it for what our team's going to look like. Now we're going on to our season.
I just want to ask, how do you feel about the team? Not how are the vibes, but how do you feel about the composition of the team, the skill of the team compared to last year?
The fact that I'm looking at all these different rooms, position rooms, and seeing very few names that I don't recognize is really fun.
Yeah, remember 2 years ago when we had all freshmen walk-ons playing at a time?
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
And now all of those guys are 3-year vets.
Yeah. It doesn't always translate to wins, but I mean, if you get into the fourth quarter and
it could. Look at Ole Miss baseball.
You're right.
I'm not wrong.
You're right. It doesn't always, but you gotta like your chances. When you get late in games, some teams with freshmen are going to get tired. They're going to quit.
All.
Yeah. I mean, they've seen us go into Athens, even though it was a COVID year, COVID crowd. Went into Athens, almost won a game there. Mm-hmm. They've done just about everything except almost beat Bama. Never done that.
Yeah. So, have we scored?
Not offensively. Nice. Special teams has done it, but so now we're going to go into our season predictions. We even have some fun hypotheticals.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep the fun one till the end.
Okay.
But at first, let's just go through our two.
Okay. So week 1, hosting Memphis.
Revenge game, 1-0.
All right, 1-0 for me too. All right, at Arizona week 2, starting at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah. I do want to say these are way too early season schedule predictions. Way too early.
Way too early. Could not be earlier.
Back to the action. 2-0 against Arizona. That is a trap game, though.
I'm going to say 2-0. Worst team in the FBS.
Yeah.
Okay. At LSU week 3.
2-1.
2-1 for me. All right. Bowling Green.
3-1.
3-1. A&M.
4-1.
In Starkville. You're saying 4-1.
Yeah, we own them.
I'm 3-2. We're losing to A&M. The very next week we host Arkansas, and I'm going to say that we win that game. And you also say we're going to win that game.
So we're at 5-1 in my hypothetical.
Okay, we're at 4-2 with me. And then we go to the Bluegrass State that I mentioned earlier. We're going to Kentucky. We both say we're going to lose that game. Because this series...
How many years has it been? Is it 5 or 6?
I think it might go back to 2017.
That's insane.
Yeah, the home team just wins this game.
I don't go back to 2017.
What? Your fanhood doesn't reach back that far.
It's insane.
Okay, so just for the fact that it's going to be at Kentucky, I think we're both going to say it's a loss. So I'm at 4-3. You're at 5-2. Alabama the next week playing in Tuscaloosa. I'm at 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're at 5-3. Next week we're hosting the other team from Alabama, playing Auburn. Last year, the 28-3 game. What you got?
5-4. We're losing that one.
Another loss. Okay. All right. I'm going to snap us off this losing streak, and I'm going to say that we beat Auburn 5-4. So we're both even now. And then we're hosting Georgia.
I'm going to have to talk about my pick right here.
Okay.
Going to 6-4 with a win. I don't think Georgia's that good. They lost. What was the best part about Georgia last year?
Defense.
What did they lose like everyone from?
Defense.
Name their best returning player?
Stetson Bennett.
And I understand that there may be some better returning players, but
100%.
Yeah, like there's some offensive linemen in there, but ask anyone, they're saying probably saying Stetson Bennett if they don't know like their offensive line and probably some corners and some stuff. But we played them in 2020, weird year. They had a better offense then. Their offense was kind of like nuts.
Yeah,
and
JT Daniels.
If
Stetson Bennett was playing that game, we win.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, say what you want, that was a pretty good Georgia team.
Yeah.
That was just a weird year. But that was in Athens. Definitely not a sold out. Definitely only 40% crowd.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, I have us winning this in Starkville to bring us to 6-4.
And obviously I have us losing that game. So we're going to be at 5-5. Going to the next week, we're hosting East Tennessee State, the Buccaneers, and we're going to say both giving us a win there. I'm 6-5, Hunter's 7-4. Going to Oxford for the Egg Bowl to cap off this regular season. Dub day.
Yeah, that's for both of us.
All right, so I'm finished the season at 7-5 in my prediction. Hunter, you're at 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want you to introduce our hypothetical.
Okay, so I was looking at this and I was like, you know what? The schedule looks a little fun. And we've tried to predict the schedules before, and it never really works.
Mm-hmm.
So here, we're behind stats and analytics and everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're known for it at this point. So I crunched the numbers and I came up with at least the best theory I have.
Okay.
What if Mississippi State beat every mascot that wasn't a feline? So every team that's a feline, we lose to. Everyone else, we beat. So we start off the season 0-1 against Memphis, the Tigers. Then 0-2 against Arizona.
The Wildcats.
0-3 against LSU.
Okay.
The Tigers.
Yeah.
Then we're 1-3 against Bowling Green, because they're like
Falcons
or something. We're 2-3 against the Aggies, because what is an Aggie? 3-3 against the Razorback.
I googled it. Pigs are not feline.
Pigs aren't feline. So we're 3-3 right now after the Arkansas game, and then we get Kentucky. So we're 3-4. Wildcats. 4-4. We have a big upset against Bama. So we're 500 on the season. Got some big win.
Yeah.
Then Auburn Tigers. We should have thought maybe War Eagle we get a half one. But yeah, Auburn beats us 4-5. Then we host Georgia and go get the win. And then we're 5-5.
So we've beaten Bama and Georgia at this point.
And we're 5-5.
We absolutely didn't have to Google what East Tennessee State's mascot was. The Buccaneers, not feline.
Yeah, we're 6-5. And then in the Egg Bowl, racist isn't feline. So we're 7-5. So by our advanced metrics, your prediction looks pretty good.
7-5, either way.
And that's some hard hitting analysis you can only get from going for 2.
Yeah, we also kind of messed around with the idea that if their name has an A in it, that we would lose to them. Is that right?
I can't remember, but it was funny.
It ended at 7-5 as well. Whichever way.
7-5. I am inevitable.
Yeah. So 7-5 is my prediction. 8-4 is going to be a good year, and like we said earlier, 10-2 is the ceiling.
What's the floor?
The floor is that if we play
4-8.
I guess 4-8, but I mean, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say maybe 5-7. I mean, 5-7 is probably more realistic because
that seems like what we're gonna do.
You're gonna have those random weeks where you just look unstoppable.
But then we're gonna have a random week where we beat LSU.
Yeah, I mean, it's
which I don't even know if that's an upset at this point. But like beating Georgia, like that's just the craziness that's gonna occur.
Yeah, Bulldog Country.
Let's ride.
All right.
So on to our joint SEC predictions. Very proud of this year. I think we did it last year and it was a complete failure because I think I had Georgia losing like 4 games.
So this year, how many games do you have them losing?
I think I have them winning 4 games. No, how many is it?
Winning 5.
Winning 5 games. We did a hypothetical. Crunch the numbers here.
Yeah.
Every away team wins. Except for like a few, because a few teams are stupid and have extra home games.
Or weird neutral sites. But go ahead.
Everyone ends up tied at 5-7.
5-7 and 4-4 in conference.
Yeah. And the question prompt to go with this is what school would be the happiest with that? And what school would be the most upset with that?
I mean, I think the obvious answer is Vanderbilt would be the happiest.
Vanderbilt came out number 1 in the SEC East.
Yeah, don't know what tiebreakers were used, but anyway, 4-4 in the SEC. That would be
Clark Lee would be
an infinite increase from their 0 wins in the SEC last year, and then Alabama.
Alabama would be very upset. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Vanderbilt.
How happy would we be?
Vanderbilt's probably the only team that's going to be happy with that. I don't think we would be happy with that. Maybe so.
I think that's an average Mizzou season in the SEC.
Yeah. So this is not even sarcasm. We think this is what's going to happen. Every away team is going to win every single game.
Except for a few because your team is stupid.
Yeah. Every team is going to end at 5-7 and 4-4 in conference. And we're just going to let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
Let the tiebreakers fall.
I guarantee you no one else is predicting that for the season.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Now, the second that a home team wins a game, with the exception of a few because y'all are stupid, the second that a home team wins a game...
I disavow this method.
Yeah.
We will change to the other method where every home team wins and everyone's 7-5 and 4-4 in the conference, except for a few because they're stupid and have extra home games.
All right. So
looking at you, Vanderbilt, A&M, I think Arkansas, I forgot who else. South Carolina, I think was one of them.
Yeah. All right. So
typical losers.
As always, we're going to end this episode with some Instagram questions, and we thank you all so much for kind of answering our surprise prompt yesterday. We got some good questions, and so let's go ahead and get started. I'll be reading them out. So from Bryce Andrus, Mike Leach Fortnite skin. All right.
Mike Leach Fortnite skin.
Luke Meyer with question number 2. Who do y'all think is going to step up and take Mekhi Polk's place in this offense? What you got? Who is the Z receiver?
Caleb Ducking, but
Caleb
I don't
Ducking.
really trust that much.
Yeah, it's going to be a team of guys.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a few guys getting 5 to 10 more.
Yeah,
each.
I like it. There's not going to be a new Makai Polk that's going to have 105 receptions, and if there is, it'll be a pleasant surprise. Yeah, it'll be very, very awesome. Who do you think the top 6 quarterbacks in the SEC are?
I'll tell you who isn't my number 1.
Will Rogers?
No, Will Levis.
Ooh, okay.
Threw for over 200 yards in one SEC game, and people think he's great.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's just go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Number 1 is pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bryce Young.
Yeah. And although also this question is from Football James 17. Forgot to say that.
Football
Jimothy.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can't mispronounce that one.
Yeah. So who do we top 6 quarterbacks in the SEC? First of all is the Heisman winner, Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Second,
are we doing this back and forth, or are we trying to come to a consensus?
You give me your or I'll give you my number 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I like him a lot. KJ Jefferson.
Number 3, Will Rogers.
Okay. Number 4, Anthony Richardson.
5, Spencer Rattler.
Okay. And 6,
SEC quarterbacks kind of suck.
yeah.
Yo, is that Jack Abraham at Missouri?
Ooh, that's fun. Let's see. Who we got? You think Miles Brennan is going to be terrible?
No. Oh, I thought you were going to ask good. I think Jaden Daniels has that job.
Okay.
If I had to assume.
Let's go Hendon Hooker.
Yeah. I think that's safe.
Okay.
We already took Anthony Richardson.
And I'm just assuming that KJ Jefferson's going to have some weapons. I know Treylon Burks is gone, but Arkansas's they're going to be good.
I cannot let Stetson Bennett or Will Levis touch my list.
Mm-hmm.
I will not stand for that.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So let's review here.
I guess Jaden Daniels would be my 7. Is that 7?
We needed 6, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
So Bryce Young, KJ Jefferson, Will Rogers, Anthony Richardson, Spencer Rattler, and Hendon Hooker. I like it. Hendon Hooker's from Tennessee.
7 would be Jaden Daniels. Remember, every week last year, we would be like, oh, let's pick this Arizona State game.
Mm-hmm. It's because of him.
Yeah.
All right. So next is going to be from Sophia Flickema. And her question is predicted football season record. Mine is 7-5.
I'm going to stand by the losing to Cats method and 7-5.
Okay. I like it. The next one is from CJ Hunter. Standout offensive player and defensive player predictions.
Will Rogers, Emmanuel Forbes.
All right. Going chalk there. I like it.
Yours? You gonna go chalk with me, or are you gonna try to be different? Gonna try to be different?
I'm gonna go Jordan Davis for defense.
Oh, you sucker.
And I'm gonna go Will Rogers for offense. Next one is from Cher Taylor. How's married life, Hunter?
It's pretty cool.
How many days to your wedding, Jack? It's like 78. Something
Dude,
like that.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty excited.
Dude, I can't believe we're married. I'm talking me and Sarah.
I'm talking me and you. How many days?
We're married to the grind of the podcast.
You're already going to be in my wedding. You just want to make it official?
If I was marrying the grind, maybe.
Speaking of the grind.
On to our next question. I miss this so much.
I was talking about Brittany Griner. That's what I was going to say. Okay.
Yeah, Brittany Griner.
Okay. That last question is it's going to be from the Campbell Flora.
Who?
We actually might win 10 games this year. We won't. We will not. Thank you, Campbell Flora. And that is going to be all of our Instagram questions. So thank you all so much for, like I said, for responding to a question prompt after we gone silent for a very long time. It's so much fun to be back in the studio, even if it's a completely different studio than we're used to. We're excited to be bringing the podcast back to you. And
this is my first time doing the podcast with one monitor. I just realized that. I was like,
I don't really like it.
I was like, why do I not have room for anything?
Yeah, making a lot of adjustments, but we'll get back to normal pretty soon, and hopefully be bringing you some podcasts when season 6 starts.
Yeah.
At the beginning of football season. So, all right, guys. Thank you so
much. I can't wait for the... Wait, we can't end this yet. I can't wait for, like, the preview for Memphis to be on Season 5. And then next week, the review to be Season 6.
How about all of our previews be Season 5 and all of our reviews Season 6? Just to keep them separated. Gosh, this would be toxic. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week on Going for Two with Jack Taylor. Bulldog Country,
let's ride.
Let's fly. Bulldog Country, let's fly.
So I just want to make sure,
Season
5, we're still talking after this, right?
Bulldog Country, let's fly. Yeah.
I wonder how much people have missed. There's really a lore to Going for Two that people...
Sometimes I think only Courtney and my mom listen to that.
Yeah, I think we should start having an after show where we just decompress after this.
Mm-hmm.
You just like hear the fan turn on, you hear the AC turn on, you hear me take a swig of water.
You just hear the grind.
And you know, we just sit here for a second and we just, you know,